Oh, you start.
No, you start.
You start.
No, you lock it up.
Start.
Hit
You
the fail
lock it
button.
up. There it is!
And the reason for that is because, as we know, 2015 coming to a close, we like to touch on the best moments, the worst moments, the ups, the downs, the roundabouts. And this year, we're going to touch on some fails. And there were many fails this year. Sporting fails, whether it's anything and everything that you can imagine wouldn't happen in sports, it happened. Yes, it did. And Jason is going to introduce us to our first fail.
So we read the comments, right? And we get that the biggest Super Bowl fails of all time leaves out one of the biggest Super Bowl fails of all time, at least according to the mass populace, because the video was recorded way before that Super Bowl ever happened. How about Russell Wilson passing? Pete Carroll calling up a pass play, which resulted in Malcolm Butler's interception and securing the New England Patriots a Super Bowl, another Super Bowl, the fourth Super Bowl. I took my two favorite memes. When you press X instead of Y in the Super Bowl, when you're trying to call an audible. So Y is running play. X is curl flats, fail. And then also, I thought this was hilarious. I am a big Kobe fan. No disrespect to you, Kobe. But see what happens when you pass.
Kobe Bryant. You told me about the Kobe Bryant passes when he shoots, it comes off the rim.
It's called the Kobe assist.
Yeah,
He takes a shot, comes off the rim, and goes right to a player, and then he scores on the following possession.
So, and then, of course, but I'm going to go on the opposite side, and I'm going to be optimistic. Glass is half full, lads. Come on. I didn't think it was much as a fail. I just think it was a great decision by Malcolm Butler. But I don't want to get into that.
I play Schrodinger's cat with that all the time. There's no guarantee that you can.
philosophical?
Yes, I'm being very philosophical. That should be in the fail section, is your philosophical
my philosophy
ideology. You and Louis Van Gaal are taking the same Psych 101 class.
I'm going to throw one completely random. I know we don't cover a lot of golf here. I'm a huge golf fan, by the way. I actually play off a 13 at the moment. My handicap's on its way down. Get in there. Just bought a new TaylorMade R15. Swinging well. But Dustin Johnson's Meltdown. It's called the Pebble Beach Meltdown. It's got its own name. Had the chance to win with a 12-foot putt. And he three-putted in disastrous fashion. Roll the tape. It was poor for me.
For Dustin Johnson to win the United States Open. Jordan Spieth has won the U.S. Open. It's a three-putt from Dustin Johnson.
So hard to watch because an eagle to win the U.S. Open just holds so much excitement to you. You're like, come on, eagle, win the U.S. Open, fantastic. He's played so well.
Go to a playoff.
No.
I don't feel that bad for Dustin Johnson. Here's why. Have you seen Paulina Gretzky, his wife?
Yes.
Daughter of Wayne Gretzky. Whew, man, she's fucking gorgeous.
I'm sure he went home and cried right into
On
that
top
pillow.
of all that, how do you go to your father-in-law after that, one of the greatest athletes of all time in Wayne Gretzky, literally the nickname, the Great One,
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, I botched that one. Something that Gretzky's never done, like ever in his career, he botches it. Oh, poor Dustin Johnson.
It was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, I believe, and yes, I know it's Jordan Spieth. I mistakenly called him Justin Spieth in a different clip. So we can add that to the fail list as well. Francis, what about the, let's go back to about the summer I think we did this clip. What about the MMA fighter who pooped himself?
So did you not get the alley that I was throwing at the start of this? I thought you were going to throw that one at the start, and I said we're off to a shitey start.
No, well,
Because
no.
he shit his pants. Fail again. I swear, we're failing.
It's with
we're
the
going
theme
with the theme of the
clip.
So imagine how many times when you watch a video and you pick up the mouse, the ref's just like,
Well, no, I
I'm not
thought it was,
touching that.
what I find ridiculous how many times people had to walk over to see what it was. Like, what do you think it is? It's brown, it smells like shit, it's probably shit.
Austin Powers didn't know.
Yeah, well, this coffee smells like because it is shit.
But there's many other that we could touch on, right? And it really does depend on, as you just mentioned there about the cat, whatever you're talking about. It depends on which way you look at it. Ronda Rousey being knocked out in such emphatic fashion by Holly Holm could be looked at as a fantastic victory for Holly, or it could be looked at as I would say a pretty big fail, considering that Ronda Rousey predicted how she was going to be knocked out before it actually happened. Roll the tape of that.
I feel like she's going to try and like keep distance and keep far away from me and get me frustrated into a point I'll make a mistake and she can try and kick me in the head, but it's not going to go like that.
Look, there was a list of the biggest upsets of the year, and that was obviously one of them for Holly Holm. And I mean, again, except for our comment section, every single person had Ronda Rousey winning that fight. So I guess it was our failure as well for predicting Ronda Rousey to win that fight. Moving forward, a lot of the NFL, National Football League, the entirety of the mainstream media on Deflategate, making that the #1 sports story for roughly 7 months about squishy footballs, as Ben Mankiewicz would call it. And then also, what's a catch?
What is the catch?
What is a catch in the NFL?
It's amazing to me.
On top of that, I find it hilarious that they put together recently a 6-person committee to figure out exactly what a catch is, right? And they're going to work on that during the off-season and find a rule for it. 2 of the people on that committee are Joe Philbin and Ken Wisenhunt, who are so bad at their jobs they got fired from being a head coach.
I could make that committee right now. All right, so we're going to put me in there because I'm a great catch. We're going to put Leonardo DiCaprio in there. Catch me if you can. We're going to put Aldo Beckham Jr. in there.
One-handed
catch. Come on, help me. I need to round it up.
Put some Heinz in there. Get some ketchup.
Ketchup. That's what I'm talking about. All right, but I agree. That rule, that still was absurd to me. It's the biggest sport in America, and they still haven't got clear-cut rules as what defines as a catch. Unbelievable. There's a couple more I want to throw to one before we get to your last one. Of course, Chelsea. You mentioned to me on the clip. Chelsea's fall from grace. It's in there.
Premier League title defense.
Yes, their title defense is overwhelmingly a fail at the moment. It could be considered Jose Mourinho's return this season. His 3-year, I would say, blunder, his problem that he can't finish out 3 years, or he doesn't decide to. Either way you look at it, it's a fail. Their season so far is a major fail. But another one?
Clippers just botching against the Rockets. Game 6.
Game 6.
Woo, boy, they couldn't close that one out. And then we had to. And look, the reason that's a bigger fail than anything else is because, except for about 3 people that I know of that I talked to on Twitter, nobody wanted the Rockets versus the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Everybody wanted the Warriors versus the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. The rivalry was getting better, but they botched it. They blew it. They failed. They failed us. But it's not Blake's fault.
What about,
It's not Blake's fault.
would you consider Maypac a fail?
The actual fight? No. And here's why. If you talk with Britton Harden, a TYT Sports boxing analyst, if you talk with Britton, you talk with Shane Faison, who we've had on multiple times, and Ellie, the Secback, who we've had on before as well.
It was expected.
And you watch the HBO shows, and you watch the Showtime shows, 24/7, everything. It's not a fail because this is the fight you should have expected. There was not going to be fireworks. It was not Canelo Cotto even-esque. It wasn't Golovkin stepping into the ring. It was Mayweather and Pacquiao stepping in the ring, which we wanted to see. Maybe 5 years ago, we probably got a similar fight. And Mayweather ran and hid and ducked and dived and all that, blah, 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 right? That's not a fail just because the fail, I guess, goes back to the media for hyping it up too much.
I think that, and also the fail goes into, I would say,
my luck on the roulette table.
I wouldn't say
Pacquiao.
I wouldn't. Oh, that definitely. I wouldn't say mainstream fans over that. I'd just say inexperienced boxing fans that expected something way different, and the whole uproar that was caused because what is this? They'll just dance around each other, blah blah blah. But and then finally, I think Jose Aldo's approach to that fight is, of course, McGregor's win. How he approached it was
Beche
tactical.
Correia-esque.
But yeah, that was a fail in his aspect. He fell down, and then I think the only way to round up fail is by talking about a certain individual that encompasses the word fail better than anyone else, and that's Sepp Blatter's reign in FIFA. And he'll be sitting outside whilst we're all inside, Jason, at the Champions League final. Thanks, Dan, for buying us those tickets. I'm just hopefully talking about that. Sepp Blatter will have to sit outside and watch.
We're going to the Champions League final?
I would love to.
Never been to Germany.
Wherever we will be, though, we'll be closer than Sepp Blatter. 8-year ban for the big dog, for the big man.
Word.
The big
There's
dog.
good chocolate in Germany, I've heard.
Yes, there is. And we'll look forward to it. But we want to know what you guys think. What is your biggest fails in the sporting world this year, 2015? There's many to choose from. We may have missed out a few, so please enlighten us in the comments. Very subjective here from ours. I'd still go with my overall. I mean, Dustin still takes it for me. I've felt really bad for him, but that's a fail in my instance. And you're still going to stick with Chelsea. Who's your white favourite?
What a catch is.
What a catch is. You heard it here first.
I just picked one.
Hit us on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell, Jason Rubin 91. Subscribe. We'll see you in 2016.